In the current day, it has become even more so important for young women to be elegant, have grace, and good manners. Because even though being a lady is not difficult, not everyone can become a proper lady. By becoming a debutante, not only does a young lady demonstrate a humanitarian spirit of service to the community, she also learns the importance of elegance, grace, and manners. These young women have been blessed with fortunate circumstances and choose to help others and live up to their full potential. These lessons on being a lady culminate in a lady's presentation to society. These lessons she learned will help her throughout her life and shows her good breeding and poise. Let's get started. A lady is always well groomed. She never offends others with unfeminine smells, and a lady must always be clean. A lady may also wear fingernail polish, but it should never ever be chipped. They should always be well shaped and well groomed. If her nails do chip, she removes the color or repaints them. She does not walk around with chipped nail polish. A lady's clothes should always match the event she's attending. When attending a formal event, her dress should be of an appropriate length. She should always dress more conservatively so as not to offend others, because showing too much skin makes others uncomfortable and does not reflect well on the lady. And as always, a lady graciously accepts a compliment. She simply responds with a thank you. A lady never chews gum in public. Also, a lady should never smack her gum if she's, for some reason, in public chewing gum. If a lady finds herself chewing gum in public, she should remove the gum appropriately and then dispose of it in a waste bin. A lady has respect for others. She knows how to show respect to her elders and her superiors. A lady knows how to introduce people properly. Now, in introductions, usually you introduce a person of high power to low power first. So you would say, "Hello, Mother. Mother, this is my friend, Mr. So-and-so. Mr. So-and-so, this is my mother." However, if you are in a situation where they are of the same age, of similar relations to you, you always introduce the man first because he has more power in the situation. If it were a man and a woman, again, you would introduce the man first because he has more power in the situation. He's a more important individual. Also, informal situations where name tags are distributed so as to help with the introduction. So like weddings, office parties, and things of that nature, a lady knows to wear her name tag on the right side of her chest, because when shaking hands with someone, which is right hand, they can look directly down the line of their arm at your name tag and they will know your name if for some reason they didn't hear you say your name the first time, or if they have a hard time understanding how you said. So, it is important in introductions to speak properly, and this is true in all situations. A lady wants to socialize herself so as to always know what to say and when. Her language is always appropriate for the situation, and she pronunciates her words very clearly so as to be understood, and she enunciates it so she's heard. A lady is always decent and is never vulgar or inappropriate. She always knows what to say and can respond accordingly. If a lady finds she has nothing to say on a subject matter because it offends her, she is not well informed enough to know about it, she does not say anything, she remains silent. When in a situation where you're being escorted by a date, by your brother, by your father, by your husband, a lady will always stand to the right of her date or escort. This is because when he offers his hand to her, he's going to offer his right arm to her, and she will carefully, as he folds it, and he offers to take her somewhere, she will carefully place her left arm through his arm, and then gently and delicately place her hand on his forearm, and then allow him to lead her wherever she goes. This is true for dancing as well. Men lead, women follow. At special events and circumstances, when there is a guest of honor, and you're going to a dinner, for example, a lady always waits for the guest of honor to be seated before she herself sits down or seeks to sit down. She follows the lead of her host or hostess, or even the guest of honor. When it does come time for a lady to sit down, she does so ever so gracefully. She carefully feels for the front of the seat with the back of her legs. And then she lowers herself softly. And if there's a gentleman behind her helping her into her seat, he simply holds the chair steady while she feels and then sits down. If there's scooting involved, she remains seated on the chair but kind of lifts up a little bit, leans forward a little bit, and then sits. A lady must always sit properly. Her back is straight and her feet are flat on the ground, and as always, her knees are closed, even if she is wearing pants or shorts. If she must cross her legs, she does so at the ankles, not at the knee. She crosses one ankle over the other, but remembers to keep her knees closed. If a lady is wearing gloves, now only for certain occasions will a lady need to wear gloves. She will take them off before eating. She begins by pulling off each finger as such, and then pulls the whole glove off, and then folds over the wrist so as to cover the dangling fingers, because it's not aesthetically pleasing to look on the limp dangling fingers. She then will either tuck them into her purse if she has one on her, or she will gently place them on the table next to her so that no one can see it. She does not tuck it into her dress, her shirt, or her trousers. She simply places them on the table. A lady knows how to behave properly at a table. She knows what is proper dinner conversation, and she knows how to pass plates and how to eat properly. This includes not talking with your mouth full, taking small, delicate bites, but most of all, you must eat with your fork in your left hand and your knife in your right hand. You cut an individual bite at a time, and there is no switching of hands. That is an American style of eating, and it is not as that aesthetically pleasing as a continental style of eating, which is what a lady should use. So she continues to eat with the fork in her left hand and the knife in her right hand. When it is a long-coursed meal, you must always start with the silverware on the outside and work your way in. The silverware at the top is for dessert and coffee, which a lady may choose so to eat. When she is finished with her plate, she places her knife and fork at an angle of 4 o'clock. This is so that it signals either to the waiter or to whoever is collecting the dishes, or even if the lady is going to collect the dishes herself, that she is finished. When a lady is eating soup, she scoops away from herself. Also, she never blows on the spoon or the bowl. She waits until it is cool enough to eat. After an event, a lady should always write a thank you note to her host or hostess thanking them for the event. These thank you notes should be completed in a timely manner. If a lady is a hostess for a party or has received a gift herself, either at a party or wherever, she must write the person who gave her the gift a thank you as well. Through dance, which you will have many lessons here to come, a lady can show that not only is she graceful and beautiful, but she can follow the lead of someone else, namely, eventually, her husband. A lady should always show love and respect to her mother, for she's the most important lady in her life. She should want to emulate her if she's an especially classy lady. A lady should always show respect and love to her father, because until she gets married and her husband becomes the most important man in her life, her father is the most important man in her life, and she should try to please him and make him happy. Ladies should always try to please and make her parents happy, because harmony is very important in the family institution. During her presentation, a lady must do a full curtsy. Now, a full curtsy can only be done when a lady is wearing a floor-length gown, otherwise you have to do variations of the curtsy. But in order to do a full curtsy, a lady stands with her feet a little less than shoulder width apart and has her left leg forward and her right leg behind her. She then lowers her right knee to the floor in a vertical-like situation, and she goes down slowly until her knee touches the ground. After completing her curtsy, she rises very gradually, very slowly, all the while with a smile on her face, because the lady is always smiling. So, by following these lessons, you too can become a lady.